Our faith teaches us that there is a heaven. And because there is such a place, there must exist such a place as hell. But what our teachings omitted, Paul, is that hell and this place are one and the same. We exist in a space that blurs the damned and the living.
My next question is, how can you tell if the information you are getting is real? This came from my wife.
That's a really good question. That is a great question. In the current times, that's probably one of the most important questions, because there is so much information out there, so many charismatic like truthers. It's so easy to get misled because certain things we're jiving with, everything's a hoax, and that's why it's easy to pull one over on us and say, well, the Messiah was a hoax. And people go, okay, I can take that. And the Holy Spirit is here to disperse the confusion in our minds. And if we don't go to the Father and we're going to the internet, we're going to whoever's out there speaking, we'll be misled very easily. And it's really hard. And we have to keep asking him to show us things, because there could be something I'm wrong about. I do not want to be teaching something wrong to everybody, because now, and especially now, like when I was very first starting and I didn't hardly get any views, I was like, well, I can kind of say whatever. But it's like our words are eternal. When we speak, even to the people in the comments like of a video, they can come in and say, oh, you're flat brain, you're an idiot, uneducated, whatever. If I was to go down there and say, oh, you're a globetard, and just send that or say something smart, because I used to say smart things. I wouldn't insult people, but I would say something kind of like, about the earth speeds or something, just to kind of like make it sound dumb. And then I realized that what I was doing was hurtful. It's not really sending them this direction. They'll never come back this way. And once God started showing me just to send them love, and he actually gave me the spirit of joy when dealing with these people, to where I wasn't angry and triggered like I used to be. It was like night and day. And I started having people come back and say, I'm sorry for the words I said. The Lord's been dealing with me. And I'm like, wow. Yeah, I'm like, wow, this is amazing that these people, and a lot of people don't see that, and that's what's hurtful, is people don't see that when they're commenting. And some of my, beloved subscribers that they're trying to take up for me or whatever, and they go after people, and yeah.
My wife works in a very harsh environment.
Yeah.
So.
Are nasty to me constantly.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I'm one of the best workers. I'm one of the best employees there.
Yeah.
I get great compliments from my regulars all the time. I'm always in a, hey, how you doing today, guys? Yada yada. And then when I go into work, my coworkers will make me so mad. I'm just like, oh,
yep, I told her contain.
I don't want them. I've been praying a lot every time I go into work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to let my job or my customers who are nasty just to be nasty. Like, I've seen some of the worst attitudes for no reason, because they feel like they're entitled, they feel spoiled, they feel snarky.
Yeah.
And I pray all the time, give me strength, give me patience, because I don't want them to change my demeanor. And I've been working at this spot for quite a few years, and my husband told me the other day that when I met you, you were so sweet and nice and this and that. And since I started working there, my demeanor has changed dramatically.
Yes.
And I'm simply myself.
I always tell her, be nice.
Yeah.
And no matter what people say, just tell them in return. You don't have to say anything. All you have to do is just say you're entitled to your own opinion, and walk away or stop the conversation. That's all you have to do, because if you continue, people are going to take there's a such thing as energy of a person. They'll take the energy from you. I know that's got to be real. It's got to be some spiritual energy, because in some arguments you feel like you feel down. You feel like the person is like getting the best over you. That's that spiritualness and that spiritual attack. And I always tell her to reserve and preserve yourself. All you have to do is say, you're entitled to your own opinion. This is what I say on YouTube. You're entitled to your own opinion. Thank you for your comments, because they didn't have to. They gave me.
Yeah.
But my problem is I'm a very emotional person, and I take everything serious. Every comment you tell me, every joke you tell me, every time it's me and somebody else in an interaction, no matter if it's a small interaction or a big interaction or joking around, what have you, I take it very serious because I'm a very sentimental, emotional person. And sometimes people can see that in me and they take advantage of it, and they know how to pick at me in the right way to get my emotions at a rise, even without, sometimes without my knowledge, and I'll be quick at the tongue, and I'm like, oh, I repent sometimes because I'm like, I feel so guilty and so bad I want to cry. And people, my coworkers have started to notice that a lot lately. And
wait, you crying at work?
No, not like that.
Oh,
but
I didn't
my
know.
Emotions, like the other day, my emotions got really, really the best of me, and I felt my face literally turning red.
This is the reason you gotta preserve yourself.
That's how I know I'm very angry. I'm very upset. When my face, I can feel the heat off me myself. And I try to pray constantly.
I'm going to need you to get mad when there's snow outside or I'm freezing cold.
Yeah.
My husband and I have been together for quite a while, and he's learned how to deal with me, I should say. But
I just go in the closet and have a conversation with the Holy Spirit. And that's how I deal with it.
Yeah, my wife's like that a lot. She's very emotional, sensitive. Like my whole family, we kind of just make fun of each other and give each other a hard time and cut up. But I can't do that with her. I've learned that. She's very sensitive. I can't joke about anything with her. But yeah, people kind of walk over her too the same type of way. And that's what I hate about work is that coworker relationship. They're not your family, but you're stuck going to be around them every single day. And that's one of the things, especially in my department, it's a science department. I'm the oddball, and I don't I had somebody, and that was really hard for me because the reason I don't show my face is literally because of a coworker being a little tattletale. And I had my other channel, I was sharing a NASA fails video on a Facebook comment, and I thought since it was a random ad that popped up on Facebook that it would just be my comment, nobody'd see it. And of course, my coworker, who's our department head, saw it, and he's the guy that wears like the NASA T-shirts to work, and Neil deGrasse Tyson, type posters all over the place, and goes to the SpaceX launch, and it's like, oh, SpaceX, and
I see a rocket go up in the air and crash into the water.
Yeah, so he went to the administration route. I'm pretty sure it was him because he commented on that, and then the next day I'm at work, and I haven't told anybody at work what I believe at all, and I'm sitting there, and I get a principal comes into my room, an assistant principal, and goes, come here with me, and I was like, okay. So we walked down to the principal's office, and it's like, have a seat. And he's like, I think you know why we're here. And I was like, honestly, I have no clue why I'm in your office right now. And it's like, it's about your YouTube channel. And I was like, I have like 25 subscribers. How did you find it? And he says, but he didn't tell me who told or anything. I knew I put the pieces together afterwards, but it's hard to go to work with those emotions and not lash out and be like, if you have a problem, talk to me man to man. It's just kind of like, I just let it. I was like, I thought about it for a few days before I even said anything. And I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to act like everything's fine and act like I have no clue that he did anything. And so that's kind of what I did. And I started this channel that I have now out of a reaction to that, because he said, I'm okay with you putting ideas out there. You have complete rights to put out any idea you want to put out, but your face is involved, and people will connect that to our school, and then all of a sudden there'll be an outrage in the community that one of our science teachers doesn't believe in mainstream science and all that. And I'm like, I believe in science. I use more science now than I've ever used in my life, and then they start talking about evolution. They're like, you teach evolution, and you're talking about evolution being a hoax. But yeah, that was one of those things where I talked to them, and I said, I should be allowed, if a hoax in evolution was admitted to be a hoax, it's a documented hoax, and you're still seeing those images in text, I should be allowed to talk about that. And they said, okay, yeah, I agree, but as long as you're teaching the other evidence. And I'm like, what other evidence? But I was like, okay. So I've gone along with it, and it's hard. It's hard to do because every video in science has a globe. Every video is talking about Earth as a globe, and especially with environmental science.
They're worried because you are in that environment. I would have told them, look, principal, or whoever you are, look, if I want to make 20,000 cupcakes and run like a makeup channel on YouTube and come to work As long as I am doing my job perfectly fine, what I do at home is what I do at home. Same thing with Donald Trump. I don't care what the man has done in the past. As long as he's taking care and doing his job and preserving my rights to worship God, that's all I matter. That's all that matters to me. I don't care who the man slept with. That's him. That's between him, his mistress, his wife, or whoever, girlfriends. That's that. But they use that to deteriorate his image. And that's, with you, it's like, why am I in this room talking to this guy? Like, it's a YouTube channel.
It's for teaching other people. That's what I said. I'm not showing this to my kids. It's not like I'm coming in and saying, here, look at this video. This is, I do show them the hoaxes. I'm not going to lie. I do that. But we should be allowed to. I hate that there's that elephant in the room where it's like, you're not allowed to say the word creation. And I've just tried to make it my goal this year to say creation as many times as I can until they say something, and then I'll say, I'm sorry.
What? They see you as a threat. That's what it is. This is a spiritual situation.
Yeah.
See you as a threat. He would never pulled you in the office if you was teaching about ants being people. Yeah. Like he'd been like, dude, crazy, but that's all right.
Like one of the main beliefs that wolves turned into whales, or whales turned into wolves, or there's all these backwards things in evolution. If I was teaching that would be fine. It's like, oh, you could make videos about that. Yeah, we used to be rock people. We were made out of rocks at one point. Oh, that's fine. As long as you don't say creator, you're pretty good. Intelligent design, no, that's not allowed. So, but that's one of the things. At first it made me angry, but I love it. It's kind of kept me out of it. It's kind of kept me out of the picture, and it keeps a lot of the trolls away. A lot of the ones that like would use your image and find you and just stalk you online, do all these things and it's really, I think it's been more beneficial than anything.
The type of videos I do, I got to use my face. You see how I do the backgrounds and everything. I was telling my wife yesterday, with this food stamps and everything else that's going on right now, these people are going to get wild. You got to start, kind of like arming yourself, and don't be like sitting in your house saying, lock the doors. God's going to make sure no one comes in this house. No. The Lord said to the children of Israel, go to war. They shall be given into your hands. God doesn't want lazy people to sit back and let the Lord do everything. No, it doesn't work like that. God says, if you do this, I'm with you. He told so many people, I am with you always. So when you were sitting in that office with that person, the Lord was with you with his unseen hand defending on your behalf. Yeah.
And that's one of those things. I know how you have to, I guess, kind of know how the enemy works. And I know that's like they want to catch you in a situation where you've messed up. It's like, gotcha. So I know I feel like if I feel as soon, I don't know, I kind of feel like once my student debt is forgiven, once I have loan forgiveness, I'll feel a lot more comfortable and not really care. And a part of me is like, who cares? About secrecy and and all that. But I don't know. For now, I'm just going to keep it like this. But as soon as I feel led, as soon as everything kind of opens up and I no longer have to be stuck in that career choice, that'd be great. And if it wasn't for censorship, I think a lot of us truthers would be making enough money to not have to worry about all that. Things would just grow exponentially. But you see channels like yours, it'll just good videos, good everything stops, and it just happens that way. And I hear that all the time from really good channels, really good teachers, people who put out phenomenal videos. And my channel got deleted. No strikes.
I remember when we first started on YouTube, it was like during the summer, and we had like what? Oh, there goes our first subscriber, second subscriber, third. And now our subscribers just go up and down. Be like, what? People are coming and going. They listen. Usually, when someone subscribes to a page, it's just the only way to get them to go away is if you say something.
Really offensive, or
you say something offensive, or you stare off what they like about you. And I was seeing subscribers go down, and I was like, we not even in the thousands yet. Why is it going down? Like, what's going on here? And it's YouTube playing with our statistics, so they're playing with it, and they're deleting our videos behind our back. But then when we go to see the videos, they're there. That's the crazy thing. So in all reality, it appears before us, because Facebook did the same thing. Facebook says only you can see this post, but we removed it because it was in violation of community guidelines, and it was a video about entitlement. How is entitlement be against the community guidelines? Like, I don't understand. All I spoke about was people and choices. You know, and Facebook is attacking us. I didn't think Facebook would attack us, but
they're getting worse. Facebook, from what I hear, is getting a lot worse. A lot of truthers are getting put in like Facebook jail, and it's weird. It's over, like you said, nothing entitlement.
They suspended us from getting Facebook friend requests for a whole week. You know, for a whole week, and I was like, dang, you know. There's a YouTube video I did, and this woman was talking about the government shutdown. She was talking a lot of truth. Now, sometimes, very rarely, or sometimes, most of all the time, I'll take a video like one of yours and upload it to ours, but I would take like a clip of it, you know what I'm saying? A small clip, because there are people out there that take other YouTuber videos, the whole thing, and take, you know, remember we talked about, they'll take, you know, take the workforce, say, this is my video. If you like my video, give me a like, subscribe, and everything. But, you know, it's one thing when you're making money, and it's another thing, like, you know, I wouldn't mind if someone took one of our videos and shared it, even uploaded it to their own page, doesn't give me no credit or nothing. I don't care. When you start getting money for the video, that's when I have to come and say, well, you didn't make that video. You're getting paid for it, but if you wasn't, then it's one thing, but now you're getting paid. So now it's like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Yeah, it's tough because me and my brother, we both work on this channel a little bit. Like he'll do videos. He's got his own channel called Grace and Truth Fellowship that he started after I started this one, because I thought that him and I would be putting out videos before I really thought about being anonymous and all that. Just like me and him in front of the camera talking, doing interviews or what, you know, like really cool out there stuff. Because we're funny when we get together. We're like comedians, and we just make fun of each other and have fun. We're actually identical twins. We look like exactly alike.
Wow.
And
so how does your wife tell you apart? She just know that's Josh right there.
I'm the way better looking one, but
I knew it.
No, he's actually a couple inches taller than me, and he's a little bigger. He's probably, I don't know, he's not much bigger. We wrestled together in college, and he was always about 10 pounds up. And now that we've gotten older, I married a vegan, and he married a Hawaiian, so our diets are totally different. Yeah.
My last question here is, what is the future for Flat Earth Brothers? What is the overall future? What is the overall goal? What you want to do?
I would love to see it keep growing. My thing is, I know I'm kind of a realist. I've seen people, YouTubers in this situation. They get a channel that gets bigger and bigger, and they reach over 100,000 subscribers, and they're putting out videos all the time, and the channel kind of becomes like an idol to them. And I've seen somebody doing that, and it really kind of opened my eyes, because YouTube was after them and taking, you know, strike after strike just for anything. Like they were talking about the churches in China and all that, and just talking about it and getting strikes for that. And so it's like their video won't be shown in certain countries, and the guy's just having a meltdown. He's like, oh my gosh. And then he came back later and goes, you know what, guys, I realize I've been making this channel an idol, and that's why it's really upsetting me, and that's really, I shouldn't be doing that. So I try to keep it into one of those perspectives, like if it's taken away, no big deal, but I feel like I'm going to have to take this to the streets. Not really to the streets, but like I'm going to have to be an actual physical presence and go places. But it's so much, I just think, to me, this is the easiest way, because I'm talking 50-something years worth of watch time, you know, so many millions of views. It's like, and you think about that, like to have reached that much people in person would have taken me many lifetimes to reach that many people and have that much, it'd be like a mega church. I mean, more than that. I mean, so it's really just the exponential growth of it is what is amazing. And here lately, I'm kind of watching it just stop. And so it's like, when are they going to do what they're going to do? Because it's YouTube we're talking about here, and I've seen them delete people for no reason. And I don't have any strikes, but I've heard people say, you know, they've deleted us and we have 0 strikes. So I don't know. It's almost like I'm surprised I've gotten as big as I have with the censorship, But I used to, in the early days, I kind of used these algorithms where I would put in the, what are those, when your keyword searches for your videos, I would type in like flat tard, proof of globe. And so when people would, that would, and I put one called Flat Earther Finds the Curve. And that was the first video I had other than my NASA Fails video that literally went viral within a couple days. I mean, it was like 2 days later, it had 120,000 views, and I'm going, wow. And it was because people thought it was a video making fun of flat earthers. That's the only reason they clicked on it. And that's the way I made it look. And so they watch it, and probably I'd say about 50% of the people that watch it or more were just like, this is ridiculous. But then a bunch of them were like, I never thought of that. So it was like I'm kind of targeting the non-believers. I'm not targeting my own audience. That's what's kind of hard. A lot of people don't understand.
Like Jesus did, right?
Yeah. I'm not here to save the found. I'm here to find the lost sheep, that are suffering. I mean, they're really suffering. There's an emptiness. There's a void. They don't know why it's there. They know it's there, and just to kind of get them past that. So I do a lot of targeting, and people are like, "You just have an agenda." I'm like, "Yes, I do. I have an agenda. I have to have one. I have to go after people. It's not one of those sit and wait and let them come to you. You have to really go get them, because they don't realize how many lies there are out there and who they really are."
I want to talk about real quick. The last video you did, I believe it was about a book.
Yeah, it's predictive programming. It's one of those things that you see that kind of blows my mind of how much they put stuff in our face with this, with the subliminal stuff and just putting it in everything. And when I saw that post on Facebook, I feel bad because I was so excited because it was such a cool thing. And I guess people say, oh, it's been out there for a couple years. And I don't get on the internet and explore things like most people do. So when I see something, it's probably been seen by millions. And I saw that and I thought, wow, this is a really cool story. And it was so deep. I mean, it had to do with time travel and Trump. And it's like really weird, like deep stuff. And of course, I put the video out, and I should have fact-checked a couple things, but for the most part, it's a real book. And I thought, I mean, heck, for how far back does this stuff go? How long have they known their plan, the enemy's plan, and the people that he's going to use, like Elon Musk, with that book from the 50s before he was born, talking about Elon being on Mars, somebody given the title Elon being on Mars. Like, this stuff, you just can't make this up. It's out there, and it's predictive, and it's showing us what they're going to do, and then they do it. And so I think it kind of shows us what we're up against. We're up against an enemy that has a plan and is going through with it, and the people that are working for him are working harder than a lot of us and are more devout. That's the thing. I would like to see a Christian who's as devout as some of these people, that do this work for the enemy. I feel like we're getting outworked, and we really need to go and look up and kind of put away our distractions. And there's so many of them, and I try not to get too distracted by making videos, but it's one of those things, you love it. And so I try to do it the best that I can and improve and do it for him and give him glory with it and not make mistakes. But sometimes we make mistakes. But I think that stuff's just so interesting.
I got to get you a shirt, man, on one of my YouTube videos. I wear it in one of my YouTube videos, definitely. I want to wear it. Me and my wife were going to do our YouTube videos differently now. Now we were going to have stools, and we was going to be sitting together and stuff, so.
I got to get my wife involved too. My wife, she's a truther. I mean, she's become, her and my mother-in-law have become truthers, and it's hilarious. I mean, it's like, they amaze me that my wife is more, she's like, you need to study. Like, she tells me that all the time. Like, you need to stop doing what you're doing and study. You need to look into this and read with me. And she's really a go-getter and a motivator. And so she really, she shows me things that blow my mind, like about Adam and Eve and time. Because do you remember the creation story? It says, in this day you will die. Mm-hmm. And they eat of the fruit and they don't die that day. And you think, well, God lied, My wife was reading a book of Jubilees, and y'all probably already know this stuff, but it was talking about how heavenly time is 1,000 years on earth is one day in heaven.
Yep.
And Adam, God was speaking of heavenly time because Adam did not live to be a day in heavenly time. He lived to be 930 years old, which wasn't 1,000 years. So he did die within that day. And I thought, man, my wife's putting that stuff together.
Late at night.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for joining us. We got the baby crying over here.
Yeah,
So we gotta
take care.
wrap it all up, you know. Thank you for joining us here. Our Current Reality Flat Earth Brothers. Check him out on his YouTube channel. Is it youtube.com/Flat Earth Brothers?
I'll have to send you a link. I can't remember how it goes. It's
Okay, link is gonna be in the description.
something like that.